What's wrong? Why is the stream like that? Why is it slow?
Well, it takes a little while.
You want to put the mic back?
Yeah. All right, here we go. Ready?
Are you checking the audio?
Yes, that's how we start every show now. Greetings, humans of the universe and other
Where's the magenta?
sentient beings. Let us regale you with tales of all the goings on this wonderful day.
Boredom.
What, are you bored?
I know, it's too early to be
So many exciting things to discuss today. What did you do today, anyway?
I did 2 loads of laundry. I did break my social distancing, I have to admit. You know, as I'm looking around, I went out and reloaded on a couple of things, and we needed a new mop because we are going to start doing a room a day on cleaning.
It is.
I'm an organized guy. Our house really isn't a mess, but we need to do a spring clean anyway. Tomorrow it's supposed to be like mid to high 70s. Get a chance to open up the windows, stuff like that. So,
New study in PhysOrg says that opening windows isn't enough. You need to have an exhaust fan, which we do.
yeah. You mean the bathroom one?
No,
you mean
when you're
window
opening
fans? Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get
we got
fresh air
fans
in
and
the
stuff.
house.
We're just gonna air out as the time. Next 2 days are nice, and they said earlier in the week it was supposed to rain. It's not supposed to rain tomorrow or Wednesday. I mean, duh. It's not supposed to rain tomorrow or the next day, and so pretty soon I'm not going to know what day it is. They're all just going to move on through. This is crazy, man. I don't see
There we go.
a lot of people practicing this social distancing thing, man.
I'm not sure any of us really know what it is.
I know what social distancing is. I mean, look what we've done. We have basically, for the past 4 days, except for twice because we had to go out there, and I can hear people now, well, you already went out there. You know, that's not the way I look at it. You know, we got to stop it, right? This whole curve thing, I don't want to get all into it, but you know the right thing to do. Stay at home. Stay at home.
That's true. There's a lot you can do at home.
Yeah.
Perhaps we should talk about some of those things. Stuff you
go
can
ahead.
do from your home. Well, I actually have a list of stuff. I was thinking we should talk about, like, some books, some movies, some music.
Well, you're the books guy, so.
You want to start with a book? I got a book for you. I've been poking around in my books and I found this one here. It's called The Battle of Lady Gulf, Death Knell of the Japanese Fleet. Pretty awesome book. Super well written, told very well. Happens to have been published at a critically important time in 1972 when I'm almost sure it went to the press, and then everyone realized the story had totally changed because it just came out that we were reading the Germans and Japanese mail the whole time and knew exactly where the Japanese fleet was through all of this. So it's from a historical point of view, it's pretty interesting to see the bullshit story that was being told by historians, before the truth actually came out. So there you go. Edwin P. Hoyt. Pretty awesome too. Hoyt was an awesome guy. He was a translator, lived for a long time in Japan. At the end of the war, he became one of the few Americans who spoke and read Japanese well enough to be able to get into the memoirs of the Japanese admirals who were part of the whole thing. So this is one of the very first books that begins with Japanese sources written in English, and it's very bright. So what? You know what it is. You can ask me about it. How about that? Okay, that's it. What do you got?
That's your only book?
Yeah, I got tons more, but you want to talk about, let's see. How about some movies, man? How about a director? How about Akira Kurosawa?
Yeah, he showed this to me today. He's got the Criterion collection of Akira Kurosawa's movies, and what movies are on there?
4 samurai classics, to include The Seven Samurai, The Hidden Fortress, Yojimbo, and Sanjuro. Now, the nice part about that is you, as an American sitting out there, many of you are Americans anyways, have likely seen 3 out of 4 of these as remakes. Seven Samurai became the Magnificent Seven with Robert Vaughn and Yul Brynner and everybody else.
Classic.
Yojimbo became Fistful of Dollars with Clint Eastwood and all of that. And The Hidden Fortress became Star Wars. So there. Akira Kurosawa is a guy, if you don't know this dude, he's a Japanese director. He really got his start right at the end of World War II.
One of the greatest and most influential of all time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you come from the auteur school of learning films through the works of individual directors, this guy is easily one of the top 4 or 5 guys you need to be doing this with, to include what Bergman, Wells, Hitchcock, and I don't know, probably someone really important. Oh look, Meg's here. Hi, Meg.
Hey, Meg.
And so Kurosawa's career spanned, oh my goodness, I believe it was 5 decades. He made over 50 films. He had a long black and white era. He had a love for Shakespeare that was deep. So he did an absolutely incredible version of Macbeth called Throne of Blood. And he did a version of, what is Ron? That's a Shakespeare play, but I don't recall which.
I don't know.
Anyways, his samurai ones are the best because they are black and white westerns. They are westerns. They're taken from actually, they're stolen from the hard-boiled genre of American literature. So they're not really westerns. They were hard-boiled movies that got turned into Japanese samurai films that got cycled back into westerns. And you need to check him out. I would recommend The Hidden Fortress in particular if you like your Star Wars stuff. That one's got your Han Solo and your R2-D2 and your C-3PO and the whole bit. They're all in there.
Lucas has said it was a huge influence on his ideas of what he wanted for Star Wars. Again, in the annals of movie history, ask any of even today's current directors about Kurosawa, and they just explode. They're just like, wow,
yeah,
unbelievable. And I think a lot of people would start thinking, oh, it's just a lot of karate or a lot of stuff like that. It's not.
No.
Now, again, it's in a foreign language, but it's these are different. This isn't Jackie Chan shit.
Yeah, and it's a 2-for-1 sale actually with it because, like many of the greatest directors, Kurosawa had his screen alter ego, who was one of the greatest actors in history, Toshiro Mifune. Dude, the guy is magic. Holy cow, is he a fine actor, and he carries every single one of these films. The vast majority of these films actually have Toshiro Mifune as the main character in it. Not unlike Marcello Mastroianni was Federico Fellini's guy and so on, and Max von Sydow was Ingmar Bergman's guy. Well, Toshiro Mifune, this dude is the swinging angel of death of Akira Kurosawa, and he's amazing. He's amazing.
Let's see. I was thinking for me, what I've been I watched the whole way through because I got the time. I just saw on Netflix. It was a Norwegian anthology horror series. I love anthology horror, and it's called Blood Ride. I think it's like 5 episodes in it. It's in Norwegian, but they, transposed English onto it, so you don't have to, read the bottom of the screen. That never really bothers me. Sometimes, in fact, having the English language imposed onto the thing kind of bothers. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. What else? I was thinking about starting to read The Stand again. Shout out to Raven Beveridge for going, you should read that again. I own the movie, but that was that made-for-TV movie in the 80s or 90s or something. I don't know. I was thinking about reading it again. Thing is a monster.
That's a big old book.
That.
I'm pretty sure I got The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich in there, and I'd like to see if it's bigger than
War and Peace
as a book.
But, I was thinking about getting into that. Also, my great-grandfather was one of H.P. Lovecraft's best friends in Providence, Rhode Island. And they actually wrote together and stuff. So I was thinking about getting back and starting to read some H.P. Lovecraft. Light reading.
And your grandpa's stuff, or your great-grandfather's.
Yeah, C.W. Eddy, my great-grandfather, he has some stuff that, and one of their good friends, they were kind of like a tribe, and when they had the time and stuff, they would get together. But Harry Houdini. So if you can imagine Lovecraft, Houdini, and my great-grandfather, C.W. Eddy, they would come over and have lunch at either my great-grandfather's house or Lovecraft's house and stuff, and just shoot the shit. Can you imagine what those conversations must have been like? Unbelievable.
I would like to think that we are a continuation of the surrealism of that time.
I am not putting myself in there. I don't agree with that. I'm not going to agree with that.
I've seen some shit.
Yeah. Let's get to music. Lots going on now because the cancellations now are coming. Now, mind you, I'm going to be mentioning some festivals that have been postponed or canceled now. A lot of these are the big ones. The big ones. That have hundreds of thousands of people at them. Back to Relics. Remember I was saying yesterday about how the Relics channel, just go on relics.com, RELIX.com. They have coronavirus cancellations and postponements. Remember yesterday I said New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival has been rescheduled. Bonnaroo, which was supposed to take place in June. See, here come the June cancellations. Has been rescheduled. That has been rescheduled for September 24th through the 27th if you go to Bonnaroo. Shaky Knees Festival in Atlanta has been rescheduled for October 15th through the 18th. Let's see. The biggest, oldest, largest festival, Glastonbury, has been canceled. Not postponed, canceled. All of these take place in June. One of them was going to take place in May. Maybe that was the Shaky Knees one that was supposed to be in May, but they rescheduled. But these are ones in June. The ones that Trey and I plan on going to, haven't heard anything, but I'm getting ready. One of them's in mid-May, Dome Fest. I don't know. I don't see it. that it's going to happen. Pretty devastated about that. But there hasn't been anything on that, so we don't know. Flux Capacitors Festival, Flux Fest, that is in June. Haven't heard anything on that yet either.
And we should add that we are big fans of Flux Capacitor and bought tickets for their first festival, sight unseen.
Yeah.
As soon as they were announced.
Early bird. And it was cheap.
Yeah,
Nothing.
it was. So
But
they're not going to take a huge hit if we can't do it, but it's going to suck.
Yeah. So those two, let me look up again. There's this one called Bottle Rot Napa Valley. That is, I think they're postponing it. I've never heard of it. Again, these are all the big festivals. The big ones. I don't go to a lot of those. But anyway. Here's another reschedule. Monster Magnet, one of my favorite stoner bands who was touring with Nebula, who we just saw last year. They have rescheduled their show, check this out, for February 19th, 2021 at Baltimore Soundstage. Got a feeling by the end of this month, that's where you're going to see the dates going to.
Perhaps we can count them among the first to just say, fuck
Screw the year.
2020, this year is bullshit.
Right. Not even out of the winter yet, but screw this year.
Oh my goodness. Is that your aunt?
No, that's my sister.
Oh, hi Scott's sister. JMU closed.
Yeah, JMU closed. All the schools now that I've seen are, they are pretty much, that's what you're going to do. They're just closed for the rest of the year. JMU's not the only one. Who else? Did UVA do that yet? I don't. All of them are going to do it. I just don't see any way around it. I mean, because they're all supposed to, graduate at the end of April, and then you have a May session.
They were able to catch many of the students on their spring break.
break.
They don't come back. So
yeah. So there's that. Here's some more interesting news, I thought. Some of the national parks have been closed, but some of them have not, right? But the National Park Service has just waived all entrance fees for national parks that are still open.
Ooh, is that to include the Skyline Drive?
Well, I don't know if that's closed or not.
I don't either. I'll find out.
I don't know. I mean, some national parks are kind of small, and I'm sure they don't want a lot of people, all around each other, right? Social distancing, right? But the picture that I saw for this article was Badlands National Park. Where's that, in Montana? Where are the Badlands at?
The Dakotas, I believe.
Dakotas?
Probably Montana.
So, I mean, I'm assuming Badlands National Park is still open. And that's just desolation for miles, right? So, what do they care, if people are camping miles away from each other? What else? Also in music, the streams keep coming, people.
Yeah,
tell you what.
Like that, I'll tell you.
I tell you what, I said yesterday that 3 of the girls from Judy Chops are doing their live stream this Friday on just the 3 of them, and that's on Friday at some point. Go to Molly Murphy's Facebook, Sally Murphy's Facebook, Jess Berg's Facebook, or the Judy Chops Facebook, and you'll see what time and stuff like that. I think it's 8 o'clock. Don't quote me on that. I think it's at 8. I didn't write that down. But just today, I talked about those big festivals that have canceled and stuff. Well, on the bands that I care about, these second-tier bands that play these smaller festivals and stuff, just today, and some of them are going on right now. Like, if we weren't doing this, I'd be watching. Spafford has got a live stream going on right now at the Frisco, Colorado show, March 7th. I can't recommend them enough. Big Something has a stream going on right now. Consider the Source, Travers Brothership, Litz, Rob Tate from Hambone Relay has one going on.
Oh, Craig Snodgrass.
Hey, Craig, how are you, brother?
Skyline's open, man. Thanks, dude.
Skyline is open.
What's up, Shane? How's it
Yeah.
going?
So, there's another one. Craig Snodgrass. I'm going to give you a plug here. He was part of the wonderful, I don't know if you can read that, Keep Stanton Unkempt movement with Dwell Collective back in the day. And he's just an amazing artist, one of those 4 amazing artists. Leo, love you out there. Andrew Davis, love you out there. And just, this guy's an amazing artist. You might have seen his work, a lot of it has robots and stuff like that. Get on there, Rocket Zoom Snodgrass, Snodgrass Art. Craig, let me know of what your main page is, and I'll give you a plug here.
Yeah, why don't you plug it right into us, man?
Yeah, what is that called? What?
Rocket Zoom Snodgrass?
Rocket Zoom?
Is that your main thing?
Yeah. I think that's his, I don't know if that's your main stuff. But
we would tear your work off of our walls to show everyone.
Oh, well, yeah, we got one up here. We're not going to pull it down. But anyway, it's really cool, psychedelic, weird, a lot like him. And get on there, buy some art and stuff like that. I know that most of these live streams that I've been talking about too. Yes, Steve Kaiser.
Hell yeah.
Unbelievable. Another member of Dwell Club. Didn't mean to forget you, Steve. But all of these things usually have a donate something. And I know it's hard to donate right now. I mean, I don't even know.
Bless you if you can.
Bless you if you can. Do what you can. Let's see. That's all the music news I have. But I tell you, all you have to do is just scroll.
A couple more. Talk has been broadcasting most of their shows through Facebook. I know a lot of you, are kind of copy and paste deficient. So let's see if we can do that.
Yeah, Talk's doing a lot.
Litz is about to go live.
That's a soundboard stream. But a lot of these are straight like pro shot video, So there's that. Let's see. Any other news out there, guys? Anything we want to, does anybody have things that are going on, things that people need to know out? Keep it, it's hard for me. Just try to keep it non-political. Let's just go events instead. It doesn't even have to be music.
We're actually reading the chat now because we're so good at that.
Because,
we are engaged.
So, if you got anything you need us to talk about as far as events and stuff, I know for our little town of Stanton, my bar that I work at, Pompeii Lounge, is now closed. We put 2 weeks. I know that Baja Bean is now doing a curbside service over cut hours and stuff like that. Let's see. I think the 101 stopped. I think they're closed. Shen Pizza is still selling slices and I think doing a curbside service. All of these places, though, the 10 and under thing in Virginia, that just screws them. So, and I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's the right thing to do at this point. I mean, everything is just mass chaos at this point. So,
Bryn's Posey has proposed the idea of flower deliveries to you, perhaps weekly or bi-weekly. Mm-hmm. And we like that idea. We're going to try some of those out tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't have a heck of a lot of local news. I have other stuff. want me to know?
Well, this is interesting. One of our city council members' father has died of corona in Florida.
Wow.
So it's hit close to home, people, and I think it's going to continue that way. Let's see. You want to get into your album of the apocalypse right now?
Oh, dude, you want me to do mine?
You're
you want
first.
to do you want me to do mine? Okay, guys.
Here's your little thing.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're so welcome.
Oh my goodness, guys. If the end of the world is approaching and you have an increasingly limited amount of time to listen to the best stuff in the world, sometimes you got to start at the top and work your way on down. Now, interestingly enough, this dynamic between Scott and I is pretty cool for one reason that may not be readily evident, which is that for approximately 20 years of my life, I fell into bebop jazz and, fell out of the scene entirely. And these last 10 years that Scott and I have been bombing around together have been extremely edifying and brand new to me. A whole lot of this is brand new. Jazz I know a thing about. And if you want to start with the best, I advise you to try to find this. Now, I happen to know you can go on YouTube and start looking around for this special little gem, which is Coltrane at the Vanguard, but it's not just John Coltrane at the Vanguard. This is the double disc Japanese print that has all of the stuff from the second night that didn't make it onto the main Coltrane at the Vanguard CD. That makes this, in my opinion, the greatest jazz CD in the history of humankind. It has one of the greatest lineups of humankind, to include Coltrane, Eric Dolphy, our dearly departed McCoy Tyner, who just died last week, Reggie Workman, although there's some controversy about that, and Elvin Jones as well. Now, Reggie Workman...
Sorry about that. I'm sorry about that hat interrupt. That was the microwave. I need coffee.
It's the kitchen, man.
Yeah.
Reggie Workman is credited, but it's thought that Jimmy Garrison actually does the jazz on this, and it's really interesting that this, one of the finest recordings ever, is still uncertain. There are many, many other wonderful things about it, but I'll leave it for you to discover. However, since I have Mona here to go on, I'm just going to tell you this, okay? You want to talk about jazz and how it approaches you on a spiritual level. Well, John Coltrane was the guy who saw through it all, right? And when he put this band together, it became as important as Miles Davis's second quintet, and really nothing else. And so as a result, the Coltrane team here doing some of their absolute best work. This is Dolphy, just not too long before he died. He died tragically in the early '60s. And yeah, so there you go. There it is. Coltrane at the Vanguard is the best jazz CD there is, in my humble opinion. The end.
Well, I'm pissed. All right. I'm mad that my bands aren't going to be able to play that I'm going to see. I'm mad at the leadership or lack thereof that's going on. And I feel like a rat in a cage at everything. And so I had to sit there and, never have I thought it been more appropriate right now than my album of the day. That's the album cover. This is from the Shine On box set. Pink Floyd's Animals.
Oh, you're bringing out the hammer.
I'm bringing out the hammer because I'm telling you. The album is based loosely on Animal Farm from Orwell. It is my favorite Pink Floyd album, but never has it had more relevance as to not just what's been going on, in our government for years and stuff like that, for how we look at each other, how we look at our leaders, the whole 9 yards, man. It's stunningly good. I have a London subway poster that I've had since college. It continues to hang in my room.
Hi, Jess.
Oh, hey, Jess Berg. We just gave a plug for your thing on Friday.
Friday at 5:30 p.m.
Yeah. Basically,
thank you for giving us that link, by the way. Please, all of you who have links, throw them in right away.
Throw them in there. We got to communicate.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
But anyway, just Pink Floyd Animals came out in '77. This is post Dark Side, and it is dark. I mean, it is a dark album. So if you want to let out some aggression, right? Not to mention Gilmour's solos on this thing, I believe they are the best he ever did. Ever. And it kind of brings it all together, like, art imitates life, right? Life imitates art. Never is there an album that is more prophetic than Pink Floyd, Animals. I promised, like yesterday, it was Tool's Enema. This world needs an enema. And now, Pink Floyd's Animals. Don't worry, I'm not going to stay dark, because there's light at the end of the tunnel here. But those are also about an apocalypse as well. So, anyway, today, I'm Matt. So, Pink Floyd's Animals. That's my album of the apocalypse of the day.
Scotty's pitching the hard balls.
I'm pitching hard balls. Right here. So, anyway,
I do have some space news. I have a feeling some of you are space nerds. I won't waste a hell of a lot of your time with it, except to give you this. This link is the link for this morning's launch of the SpaceX Starlink mission. And it had a very, very interesting and fascinating anomaly, the likes of which we have never seen before, because, Scott, one of the Merlin 1Ds of the Falcon first stage failed.
Jesus Christ, not the Merlin 1D!
Yes, it happened. It happened, and not only that, it resulted in total loss of our dear friend 1048.5, which was the first stage launcher. This was its fifth.
Like R2D2?
Yeah. Its base number is 1048, and the 0.5 means that it was successfully launched 5 times.
Right.
Now, what's interesting about this is this rocket dropped an engine on the way up, and it still completed its mission and tried to pull off a landing, the cheeky little bastard. Well, it didn't make it.
SpaceX, that's Musk. That's Elon?
That's right. Of all your billionaires, only Elon Musk can make it to orbit. There are other billionaires with space programs. They can't actually go around the planet with their spaceships. So, you want to get off this rock, talk to Elon. So that was my space news, and there's your launch to that mission. And then I do have one final amazing thing, if you like. Or we can move on to what you got.
No, give me more amazing. Go ahead.
Okay, so get this. There is a phenomenon in Germany whereby... okay, so let's talk about... You want to talk about the loss of festival season? You know what the Germans have lost, Scott?
What?
They've lost fucking teepee season, dude.
Toilet paper season?
No. Teepee, as in wigwam.
Wigwam.
Triangular tent-like device used by Plains Indians, because Germans are totally into them, and they come out and reenact as American Indians.
Well, that sounds racist.
It may be touching very, very, very close to that subject, and so I decided to inform myself a little more about it, and I went back to discover that all of this goes back to the most popular author in the history of the German language, who is a fellow by the name of Karl May, and he wrote westerns in the 1890s. And in particular, he wrote a series of westerns about a guy named Winnetou and Old Shatterhand, who were an Apache Indian and a mean old Prussian guy who were running around the Wild West murdering everyone for, not being as cool as them. And that in turn got turned into some absolutely amazing looking films that I intend to review later tonight. Here is one which I will provide you right now, called The Treasure of Silver Lake. And I believe if you allow this 1 minute, you'll notice that there's an unusual dynamic going on in this film, which is that the Apache guy is actually holding his rifle to the German dude's head for the entire first minute of the film. Probably accidentally, because they probably didn't really care about gun handling skills, but,
What year did that come out?
That came out in the early 60s.
It sounds like, did you ever see that guy on a buffalo thing? I'll have to show you that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll post Patrick showed me guy on a buffalo, I don't know, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago. Man, funny stuff. Guy on a buffalo.
Guy on a buffalo.
Just go look for it on YouTube. You'll laugh.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is meant to be funny. This one wasn't meant to be funny. Right.
Oh, I should have had Adolf Hitler and Albert Einstein both considered Karl May to be their favorite author.
Wow.
What is wrong with this world, man?
I got nothing. Got nothing on that. Staying far away from that one. Let's see. I've just been, I think we're relatively ready. I mean, our pantry is relatively stocked. I got beer. But I don't, as this goes on, I'm just kind of judging the pulse of it. I think we better get used to this. I mean, what we're doing right now. And just like I said yesterday, man, a lot of my friends have lost their jobs in the service industry. Apparently, there has been, it froze the system on the unemployment thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
It froze the system.
I bet it did, yeah.
So, I mean, nobody knows what to do or anything like that.
And it was a nice move for employers to temporarily lay off their employees,
right? So they can
could
get
collect unemployment. But
unemployment, right? So, but from there, you guys playing any board games? We were talking about board games yesterday. I think I told you guys I have Star Wars Monopoly, Operation, chess, and it's a really nice hand-carved chess set. It's really cool. I got a Ouija board and puzzles. That's what I got.
Let's call your great grandpa on the Ouija board,
The
dude.
Ouija board?
Yeah.
Lovecraft will answer and say he's not home. Probably.
Right on, man.
So, anyway, I mean, any other news in the world? There probably is. And I know music isn't that important. I mean, it is for me. It's like, lifeblood. But, and again, I want to say this, just the weather. It's supposed to be in the mid-70s tomorrow, apparently, and stuff. Open up those windows. Try to move around. Get some exercise. I've seen a lot of posts going, I'm just going to eat till I'm fat. Don't do that.
And remember to use an exhaust fan in your window because according to
If you're cleaning it. Or even if you're not cleaning?
Even if you're not cleaning, you want the exhaust
Window fans up,
pulling air out of the place. Otherwise, there's just not enough circulation going in and out of that window to filter and clean the air inside of your home.
I got it.
So you got to push it out.
Okay. See, is that it?
I don't know. We might be done. That might be all I have.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did research today. I hope that worked for some of you. Oh, hey, there's Mom.
There's Molly.
Neat.
Molly Murphy. We just, gave you the thing for Friday.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that
with the
one.
3 girls playing, so everybody get in on that. And again, if you're bored with us, which would be pretty easy to do, Spafford is streaming right now. Big Something is streaming right now. Travers Brothership is going to be streaming. Litz is going to be streaming. These are all fantastic jam bands. I mean, just fantastic stuff. Get on it.
I'm keeping my spacesuit on, and I'm going looking for my bro Al Galley over in the Litz thread, because I know he's over there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Probably wearing a bikini.
He's not lying. Yeah, he probably is. Anyway, so what are we at? Yeah, I think 41 minutes is enough time, don't you?
I mean, I feel like we moved through everything well. How do we sound, everyone? I've been goofing around with a setting on this thing called the gain, and I see it bouncing into the red, but I can't tell if we're having actual audio problems. So if someone could let us know on that, that might help. Other than that, gee, I don't know. We're still looking from all of you to hear and see what you're doing. If you all would please get in touch with us and let us know how you're dealing with the twilight of civilization, do please let us know.
I also want, I was talking about the end of March. I think we are definitely going to know where we stand for this summer. Not even for this spring, but for this summer by the end of this month. I think that's what we're really going to figure out what's supposed to be happening and how this summer is going to go. Right now, it's not looking good. I read a post on Live for Live Music. This one cat, he knows all of the second tier stuff. And maybe Molly, if you know, is Red Wing still planning to happen? I mean, they're canceling ones now in June. I guess, when is Red Wing? Is that in July?
Yeah, I want to say it was middle of July, something like that.
So I'm really not sure. But, I don't know. I know Gotta Fest, which is a super small fest, great band called The Sweet Life, is headlining that. I haven't heard anything from that either. So I know these little festivals are just holding off. And I think by the end of March is where we're going to see where everything is going to stand. And let's see. Like I said yesterday, PA has now closed its liquor stores. I still can't get over that. Go get your liquor. Drink. 5 ounces. Mm-hmm. We might be selling these on our website.
We may be seeking donations soon.
We might.
Looking for donations.
We might. So. Keep it in your head. Keep it in your head. Trey, anything else?
Well, overall, I'm very pleased at the overall state of the world. we're all taking it pretty calm and quietly, and I appreciate that from all of you and me as well. And I feel that we're probably all going to be just fine. And this is an excellent time for us to get to know the world around us at home and how we can improve it and our status and well-being with those that we get to spend the most time with.
Okay. Well, stay safe out there. Social distance, people. Come on. The quicker we can do all this, the quicker we can get back to being around each other.
Yeah, well, you know.
I miss you guys, man. This is going to get old real quick. So, we got to keep it mentally healthy and stuff, which means we got to... And if you know people that are living alone and stuff like that, throw them a call. You know? Just say, hey, what's up, dick?
Let's talk about who needs flowers, too. We need to talk about that.
Who needs flowers?
Anyways, alright. Love y'all.
Love you too.
And we'll be seeing you soon, I bet.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Later.
Peace.